My name's Ryan Kutzik. I'm currently a senior lead consultant for the company I work for, Alliant Group. My main responsibilities in our current position is to be a project manager and a lead consultant, mostly for agribusinesses across the U.S. In my role, I'm responsible for collecting data and information from clients regarding certain things that they're doing in the field of research and development in agriculture, analyzing that documentation and the information that they provide to us. And then from there, ultimately identifying opportunities for them to save money through taxes and other incentives to reinvest in their business, to continue to expand, and to find ways to continue in the field of agribusiness. Ultimately, at the end of the day, my goal as a tax and management consultant is to help strengthen these companies and find ways to help their businesses move forward, because they are facing such a unique problem and challenge of having to produce more food and more product with the same amount of resources available. As far as the relevance of my educational background and experience before I came here, certainly my education is relevant. I have a degree in agricultural leadership and development from A&M. I stopped at my bachelor's, but that was my entire educational background. Before I came to Alliant Group, I had a little bit of a circuitous route to get here. I actually started in restaurant management and food service. I worked at both Chipotle's that are in College Station before I graduated, and actually became a general manager, opened a brand new restaurant of a Chipotle in Texarkana, Texas. And that's what got me into management. And I was applying a little bit of my leadership experience and formal training from A&M in that career path. But certainly it was something where I didn't see as much of a future, and I wasn't applying the agribusiness portion as much as I would have liked to. So I wanted to get back to my roots. I truly enjoy helping and furthering agribusiness in America. So I was able to come to Alliant Group, honestly, kind of luckily, just through applying to dozens and dozens of jobs after I graduated, and ultimately find something that was a good fit for me. And that experience at Chipotle, ultimately did translate to Alliant Group. I was able to take a lot of what I learned about leadership, management, working in a fast-paced environment, and being a little bit of a self-starter with the level of management that I achieved there, and translate that into some success at my current company. Probably three things that I most enjoy about working at Alliant Group in my current position. First and foremost is that I get to work to support American agribusinesses. Like I said before, it's so important that we help those companies to succeed, to expand, to innovate, and to find ways to just stay on the cutting edge and the forefront of technological advances. I think agribusinesses really get left behind a little bit when it comes to incentives and really just the American kind of thought profile of what agribusinesses actually are and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. But the fact that I get to support them, help strengthen them, is truly something that I love about the work that I do every single day. The second thing I would say is the merit-based advancement that my company has. Ultimately, I've been with this company for a little under 5 years. There's a lot of folks that have been here longer than me that are in positions that have advanced further, but I've also been able to advance past people that have been here for a longer period of time than me, based on the work that I've done, the investment into the people around me, the willingness to help people succeed, and just the success that I've had creating raving fans out of my clients. And then the third thing is just working with high profile individuals across the board. I primarily interface with C-suite executives at these companies, so the owners of some of the largest hog farms, beef cattle feed yards, dairy producers, row crop, you name it. I work with those C-suite executives, which is really great. And then in addition to that, I get to work really closely with former U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Mike Johans, who's part of our strategic leadership board. And I work closely with him every single week, helping to spread the word about the incentives and the work that we provide to other American agribusinesses. As far as the education training background for the position that I'm in now, There's really no set requirement. That's one of the great things here. I sit next to a biomedical engineer that unfortunately went to the University of Texas. We butt heads as much as we rub shoulders. But I also work with former medical doctors that have decided to leave medicine to help in life sciences and companies like that, as well as mechanical, petroleum, chemical engineers, folks with MBAs and degrees in data science, data analytics, really across the board. My company and what we do in management and tax consulting, the fact that we're looking for technical individuals is really opens it up to a broad array of backgrounds. The thing that really sets folks apart in this field is the ability to be a strong communicator, to meet deadlines and be able to manage projects really well, as well as the interpersonal communications and just ability to not only with the client show that you care about them and that you want to take care of them, but the people around you as well. Because it's not just about the clients, but it's about making people around you better, leading people and showing people how to succeed the way that you have. And I think in any company, no matter what field you go into, that's a really, really valuable skill set that's going to set you apart and going to make you a really, really strong candidate. As far as steps to prepare for the field that I'm in consulting, I think that potentially some courses in project management, leadership and general management are always going to be helpful. And there's going to be aspects of those that you can take and apply in almost any field, but this one particularly as well. When I talk about the path that I took, my instinct is to say no, because there were a lot of hurdles, a lot of speed bumps, and I stubbed my toe along the way a few times, but I love where I'm at today. I love what I've been able to achieve and where I've gotten to. So I guess the ends made the means worth it at the end of the day. And that would probably be my biggest advice to any student, because I sat in those shoes. I'll be honest, when I was graduating with my degree in agricultural leadership and development, I had no idea what I was going to do. I was in food service already. I already kind of had a feeling that it wasn't something I wanted to do long term, but it was still something that was safe and something that I knew I could do. My biggest advice would be, if you're in a similar boat to that, where you're feeling safe, but it's not exactly what you want, don't be scared to bust out of that. Have the tenacity, have the courage to try different things, apply. Don't be scared of rejection. I was rejected from dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs before I came here. Rejection meaning as simple as no response, as well as a dozen interviews. Ultimately, if you're willing to take that work on, put yourself out there and try for that career path change, someone will give you an opportunity. And then at the end of the day, it's about how you capitalize on that opportunity. If you go into something new, worried and scared and thinking there's no way I can succeed here, I don't know what I'm doing, then that's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you go into it with an inquisitive mindset saying, I'm going to succeed at this, and I need to learn from the people around me how I'm going to do that, your chances of success are going to increase tenfold. And so I think that's the biggest thing. Every step that I took, everything I did before I came to this company, and before I got to where I am now, all led me here. So I can't say that I actually would make a change. And then as far as advice for someone considering the type of job that I'm in with consulting, whether it's, a Lion Group where I work now or similar other companies, some of the bigger names out there, Deloitte, other consulting companies like that, just understand that it's going to be merit-based, and your first few years in most jobs are going to be pretty difficult. That's kind of the landscape of the American job climate right now, is you've got to do things to set yourself apart. So acknowledge that the first few years, no matter what you're doing, you're learning, but you're also proving yourself, and taking advantage of that opportunity and giving it your all is going to pan out in the long run.